Here's an update of the market garden. It's been about a week, 2 weeks since I planted everything. I'll go walk through and show you what everything looks like now and what else I've added. So here's the tomatoes. They're starting to get a little bit bigger. I planted them a little bit smaller, but I probably need to go through and start picking off the suckers and then that sunleaf there, the low stuff. But everything's getting a little bigger. Just in a week and a half. I haven't seen any carrots pop up, but I think those are beets. They're in this row. I think beets are the fastest to pop up. The peppers, some of them are looking really good. Looking bigger. I kind of planted them small, but green beans, I haven't seen them pop up here, but I planted them a few days earlier at my house, and those ones are up. So maybe a couple days and these ones will be ready. Cucumbers are both looking good. The lettuce is popping up. Some lettuce in areas. The kids helped me plant, so there's a lot of them right there. More cucumbers. And then herbs. I haven't seen the herbs pop up, but I planted that last, so. Cantaloupe. They're looking like they have more leaves on them. Watermelon. And I did have an incident. I came today and started working, and this had popped off, and you can see the water there. Like this hose popped off. I don't know, seems like the heat and the black pipe was stretching it out, and I had to adjust some stakes and get it all squared away because stuff is all getting squirrely and stuff, I think from the heat. The watermelon, and then squash, and that's looking, so everything over on this side where that popped off was a little bit more yellow, but I've got water on it. I did end up planting marigolds in between because I heard marigolds repel squash bugs. So I put those in between squash and the pumpkins that I planted the seeds for. So I put a marigold in between every 4 feet, so yeah. And then on the tomatoes, I had them just like the melons at 4-foot spacing, and I decided to do them 2-foot spacing so I could add more tomatoes, so I have more. And then the corn, I don't know if you can see out here all that drip line, it goes a little bit farther past, so I think I'm gonna add 2 more lines of drip here, 1 or 2, and add some more tomatoes because I still have a bunch in my greenhouse. I started out here. I started putting all these drip lines in and poking the holes every foot for corn, and I ran out of emitters, so I only have the 3 rows. And I wanted to get the my hands are all filthy, but I wanted to get the sunflowers in as well, so I made sure to get that row in and this one, and I planted all the corn. I put 1 on each side of the emitters, that way I have a second chance just in case one doesn't come up. And it's 18-inch spacing on the, not a very accurate 18-inch spacing, but I did 18-inch spacing about between the rows, and then 12 inches every emitter. And then I ordered some more emitters so I can plant this, which is probably good because then I can have a crop of corn here, and then the next one will be a week or 2 later. And then I put mammoth sunflowers. And these rows are all 80 feet. So I've got my no-till up here, and then melons and tomatoes. And then I'm gonna add another 2 rows of tomatoes, that way it's all just a big square. And maybe put some fencing down here just because there's a lot of deer that come down in his orchard. And I don't want them up here eating all my produce, but that's what it looks like. The plants are growing. We'll see how it does here in another month or so and see what's growing. I still am gonna go get some cattle panels for the tomatoes to trellis and the cucumbers. And I figured every year I can just leave the trellises there and switch between the cucumbers and the tomatoes. So I just wanted to correct, so it has been 1 week since we planted everything, so not too much progress, but it seems like the tomatoes are bigger and the lettuce has already popped up, and it's kind of fun to watch it all.